my name is Debbie Reynolds. They call me the Data Diva. Today I want to talk about data privacy and the Fortnite $520 million COPPA settlement. So Fortnite has to pay $520 million to the FTC to settle violations. It's actually two different things. One is a violation of COPPA, which is the Children Online Privacy Protection Act. And the other part of the settlement is around deceptive patterns. So basically, they're claiming that Epic, the company that owns Fortnite, designed their apps in a way, or their games in a way, that make it really easy for people to mistakenly make in-app purchases, like dance moves or virtual clothing, different things like that. But then they make it difficult for the person to get refunds or to get their money back for these purchases. So this ruling is pretty significant. One is because the COPPA law has been on the books for many years, so it's not a new thing to corporations. So being able to get a settlement this big is quite surprising. Also, I think this is probably the biggest settlement that the FCC has gotten on a Children's Privacy Act. I think the previous one was from Google and YouTube for $170 million. Also, there's always been a controversy related to the COPPA law about verifiable consent for children under 13. So children under 13 are supposed to get their parents' consent. And so companies that have apps or games that target children under the age of 13 are supposed to get this consent. In the past, it's been a thing where companies, they had not really very rigorously taken this type of step very seriously. So the fact that Fortnite is getting this fine should be eye-opening to people, for companies that really have not gotten sort of robust in ways that they can have verifiable consent from a parent. Also, I think in the past, people have thought that the FTC has been very lax on their enforcement efforts around this COPPA law. So I think that is changing, obviously, now, whereas it looks like the FTC is actively looking for companies that are running afoul of these types of privacy laws that are on the books, so that people can pay attention. Also, I think this is a huge issue in gaming. So as we see more, let's say, gaming devices, IoT devices, more gaming types of things, not just for children, but also in the IoT and metaverse space, we're seeing gaming sort of slip into other industries. So slipping into education, slipping into health, and these are all going to be issues around verifiable consent of children under the age of 13. Also, California has this thing called what people are calling super COPPA, which will be a lot more harsh. Also, the CPRA in the state of California is a lot more harsh around, I think they've tripled the fines for people who run afoul of their laws around children. So I think this is going to be a huge push around enforcement of data of children under 13, sometimes under 16, and possibly in the future under 18. So this is going to be very interesting to see. I think there are going to be a lot more fines in this area, as there's a lot more data collection, and companies really need to get in line in terms of how they're handling data of children, of minors. That's it. Thank you.